I'm CJ from the ESU bands. I'm one of the saxophone players that'll be performing in the marching band and the other bands this year. And today I'm going to be answering some of your frequently asked questions that you may have about joining our band and where we're about. So without further ado, let's get into that first question. So when is band camp? So band camp starts August 19th. Move-in starts at 9 a.m. I believe. During that time, you get unpacked, get situated at least a little bit in your dorm room, say goodbye to your family, whatever you need to do with that. Man, I'm bad at these. One starts at 12 o'clock. It'll be in Dansbury Cafe. Some of our members will be there grabbing lunch too. And just kind of be on the lookout for some of us. We'll be wearing, most of us should be wearing our band shirts, so just kind of keep an eye on that. Once lunch wraps up around 1 o'clock or so, you'll be heading up to the Fine Arts Building. The Fine Arts Building is all the way up Normal Street, all the way up the hill, past the field house, past the dorms and all that stuff. Front door is open. Just go through that and then go up the stairs that will be there, and then go to the recital hall, the Cohen Recital Hall. That's where we'll be meeting up firsthand to have like our actual introductions to the band and all that stuff. If you're going through the band entrance on the lower floor, it will be out the band door to the right. Again, we'll have some people there just to help guide you. And also to have people like kind of help guide you from the cafeteria to Fine Arts Building if you get confused or anything, get lost. We're always here to help, and it's a new campus, so any kind of help you want to navigate around, it's always we always want to help with that. That'll be at 1:15. That first introductions. Throughout the day, we will be doing practice. I believe we're probably going to be starting with music first and then doing some fundamentals. And then band camp pretty much runs throughout the entire week, from that Friday to the next Friday, the 26th, from 9 a.m. in the morning to 9 p.m. at night. We will have lunch and dinner breaks in between that, and then breakfast breaks before the 9 a.m. start time. Do not worry about food or using your meal plans, because we will be taking care of that for you, and we'll give you proper instructions of how to do that so you're not paying once we get that first introduction meeting underway. Other than that, that's when band camp runs. So next question, what do I need to bring to band camp? So obviously, for musicians, you need to bring your instruments. More so if you're like you have your own instruments like flutes, clarinets, saxophones, trumpets. For some of the bigger instruments like tubas, trombones, we will be providing you some of the instruments, and we'll during that introduction meeting we will get any kind of instrument rentals squared away. So, but other than that, also you need to bring some of your instrument accessories like reeds, all that stuff. Other than that, it's going to be hot during band camp. Probably going to be dealing with 90-degree weather with lots of sunshine. You're going to need to bring a DEET-free sunscreen. It has to be DEET-free because some members do have a DEET allergy. So we're just trying to be mindful of those allergies. Just make sure you bring lots of water, whether that's a water bottle, canteen, any kind of water storage. We also will have some water also be available for you to drink too from one of our coolers, whether it's bottle or just straight from like a Gatorade cooler or something like that. Also too, just make sure that you bring other marching equipment, so like your marching shoes, gloves, mainly I think guard gloves. Let's just say it's guard gloves for right now, but definitely shoes. So the next question that you may have is, do I need to buy anything for bands? And then is there any kind of like charge to be in the band? To answer the first part of that question, yes, you do need to buy a couple things for bands, like 2 or 3 things. Those things are street clothes, and that's just basically like our the hats and then the shorts that Dr. Hodge has already posted on the band app. Um, and just follow the instructions on the post that he made on that. I think there's a Google form with that, so just kind of make sure you fill it out, and then we're trying to make sure it's like not as big of a cost for any of you, and I think the only cost as of right now is if you want to keep like the shorts and all that stuff, then you need to buy that, but you would need to at least put a little money down for the hat and the shorts, but the band t-shirt will be provided for you. And like I said, just fill out the form that Dr. Hodge has on the band app. The second part to that question, there is no charge for being in the band. Being band, for the most part, is free. You don't need to pay anything to be a part of it, other than just buying like the stuff like I said before, like marching equipment and then the hats and the shorts. If you need any help or accommodations with that, just please reach out to Dr. Hodge, and then we'll make the necessary arrangements for you to help you with that. Quick and easy question: are there any auditions for the bands? For any of our bands? No, there's not. We are always looking for more people to join a band. We are even including community members in our band. I actually myself a community member. But basically, there's no auditions. We want to include as much people as possible into the vision we're building for this band. So you may be asking yourselves, what is the ESU band like? We are a eclectic group of people who just like to have fun. We have no real music major program. We are getting a music minor program as of right now, but basically anybody who wants to join this band is just doing it for fun. There's no competition, so to say, that you might get like other schools that do have music majors. Or just have that kind of environment of most of the band's music majors. We all like to do bands and have fun while doing it. We usually have a pretty chill environment. We always pride ourselves in being a band family, trying to be as a close-knit group as possible. Obviously, we're getting bigger sizes this year than in future years. So even as we grow, we always want to try to keep that aspect of ourselves. But basically, we're a chill group of people. I know you probably meet some of your greatest friends. I know I have just joining this band. But we're fun. Also, too, we also make sure that the members of our band are having a great time above anything else. That's something Dr. Hodges vehemently said, is that he wants to make sure that you're having fun and that you're not like dragging along, so to say, not having a great time. We want to make sure that you're having the best time as possible. What are rehearsals like? Band camp wise, like I said, it'll be from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Usually in the morning blocks we do fundamentals and drill setting. In the afternoon we do music rehearsals. And then in the afternoon block we will be doing music and drill together. The reason why we have to set up is again because of the heat. Dr. Hodge is from like the hotter parts of our country, but he still values making sure that we are properly safe, hydrated, and all that stuff. So the morning blocks is not too hot, so that's why we are outside. In the afternoon, that's obviously when those heat and the sun is most strongest, so that's why we are indoors. And then the afternoon blocks, when it cools down a little bit, gets closer to nighttime, that's when we do go outside again to do music and drill. But basically, like I said, morning blocks are usually fundamentals and then learning new drill, and that depends on how fast we're going, or if there's like a rainy day. If it's a rainy day, we may be inside all day. that's just kind of as needed basis that Dr. Hodge will be communicating with us on the band app with. Like I said, as needed. Maybe asking when our rehearsals during the school year. Wednesdays and Fridays from 4:15 to 6:15 p.m. We have two-hour blocks each week. And usually those 2-hour blocks will always usually be outside, with the exception of the rainy day. That will always be to clean up music, whatever Dr. Hodge has planned for us. So, basically those start off with a warm-up circle, usually stretches, and we usually do a lap around the practice field. And then we usually get started with whatever is planned for the day. Like I said, mostly drill, and learning new drill, refining drill, all that stuff. Again, I think I said this in the other question, but like we always try to have value fun, and then making sure you're safe. We will always try to have some water on the field, plus a resting spot. Especially if it's a very sunny day, we'll always try to have a shaded spot for y'all. And we also try to have a couple water breaks in between too, just so we're not dehydrated. Fun saying in our band is don't dehydrate, stay hydrated. You may be asking yourselves, what is the time commitment to the band? Other than band camp from running 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. the week before school starts, and then the rehearsals, which are two-hour blocks on Wednesdays and Fridays. We will be going to all home football games, and I believe there's like 5 or 6 of them each year. And those days are kind of like, it depends. We usually do a lot of university activities that they may do. I know the one activity is we always walk the football team to the stadium beforehand, like a couple hours beforehand. So usually the football games I think are around like noon or 1 o'clock or so. So the start of the day usually it starts around like 9 a.m. because we do have a stadium rehearsal on game days, just so we can get used to the feeling of the field. So usually that runs from starts at 9 a.m. and we do all the pregame stuff, and then we actually have the game. And usually games run about 2 hours, I believe, 2 or 3 hours. So looking at it, it's probably going to be like a 5 or 6 o'clock end time. Again, that can change for obvious things, whether it's a later football game, for example, or we have a competition, not a competition. We have an exhibition we would like to go to. Again, a lot of this stuff will be known to you well beforehand, and Dr. Hodge, to the best of his ability, will let you know as soon as possible. The university does like to pop things on us last minute, but again, we always try to get that information out to you as soon as possible. And then there's some like other sporting events we may go to, and then just general campus events we need to go to. I know Dr. Hodge posted a Pink Walk event. That's just one of the events we'll go to. There's usually going to be at least one or more, but again, as with anything, we will try to get that information out to you as soon as possible, so you can make the necessary accommodations for that. Another part of marching band that's more later in the season, like November, December, is doing pep bands, which will be just going to basketball games, men's and women's, and then volleyball games. Those are usually, I think, on like Wednesdays and like Saturdays, but obviously that can change. And then obviously too, we get that information out to you beforehand. And then with our numbers issue, we'll probably be doing a split band formula like we've done in the past. Usually we divide into a red and gray bands, where each band is split up with the instrumentation. So we're not all going to every single basketball game. Pretty much all of you will have a rest, so you're not going to every single game. Marching band in the spring. There's gonna be open houses and then like lacrosse games and all that stuff. Again, that information will be known to you as soon as we get more information about it. If you're curious enough, you may be asking what is our show this year. Our show is disco themed. We don't have like a name for the show yet, but yeah, it's disco themed. You've already heard the first movement, which is Earth, Wind, and Fire medley. Then the second movement will be some of the ladies of disco. So like I Will Survive and Raining Men, I believe, are two songs that will be in the second part. Hi Bonkers. It's my cat. And I believe the final part of the show will be like some discotheque, some modern songs. Like there's a Lizzo song, there's a Harry Styles song I think we're doing, and then possibly more depending on what's popular at the time. You also may be asking, when do we get our music for that? Dr. Hodge has posted the first part already, and then usually he'll get this the second parts and the third parts more closer to the band camp. He has this philosophy, or at least when it comes to marching band and putting music to that, is where we have a more flexible kind of part giving to that. Because we want to see who we have and the abilities of each player to make sure that everybody's comfortable with their music and that we have the necessary instrumentation. Actually, we want to make sure we have the necessary instrumentation and correct distribution of instrumentation to make sure we have the best show possible. Though this be as a needed basis, I know in years past, a lot of those changes are done during band camp. Because we're just going through the growing pains of learning ourselves as an ensemble. But usually that'll be last, mostly any of the changes or additions of music that we will have. If for some chance we do that more in the middle of the season, like around September or October, you always will try to get some time to practice those new additions. So I've been mentioning this a whole lot, but we do communicate through the band app. That's our primary source of communication. We post updates, especially any updates to scheduling and all that stuff will be made through the band app, through posts. There's a public chat room with basically all the members of the band. And if you have any more questions that I'm not able to answer today, or that I didn't mention today, always feel free to ask either Dr. Hodge or any one of the e-board members. The e-board members should have like their title listed under like next to them, or when you view their profile, or just in general, like a little like a subheading or whatever it is. But just feel free to message any one of them on the band app, or Dr. Hodge's email too, which is bhodge1@esu.edu. I'll be bhodge1@esu.edu. And like I said, just message any one of those people for any questions that you may have that I didn't answer today, and just in general. Like if you like have any questions, or you're just like curious about more of what we do, just feel free to ask them, and we'll try to answer as soon as possible. Also, too, with the band app, this has been an issue in years past, but just try to keep the notifications on as much as possible, so that way you're not missing any information. I know that sometimes it can be a little too much at certain times, but just try to keep notifications on. Just make sure that we're all getting informed at the same time about any changes that need to be, and missing any information. Also, feel free to message me. My name is CJ, if I hadn't said it already. I'm one of the more older members of the bands. Like I said, I'm a community member. But I'm always free to message, just if you have any questions about that too, about anything, to be honest. Just let me know. Reach out. I'm pretty friendly. But that's all the questions I have for right now. like I said, if you just have any more questions, just reach out to any one of us. Feel free to message any one of us I have mentioned already, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Until then, my name's CJ. I can't wait to see y'all during band camp. It's less than a couple weeks away. And then, yeah, see you then. Bye.